The collaboration between food and wine and Lindblad Expeditions National Geographic is pretty remarkable. Lindblad Expeditions National Geographic are known for getting people truly up close and into the heart of what makes a region special, the geology, the history. Food and Wine is known for our extraordinary knowledge of what's going on in food and what's going on in wine. And what we decided with this expedition on the Columbia and Snake Rivers is that you can't really understand the region without understanding the fact that it's one of the great wine regions in America.
I'm Ray Isle. I'm the executive wine editor for Food and Wine magazine. I'm the wine guy of Food and Wine.
It's a funny question, what I love about wine. I actually love everything about it. A great wine isn't just a pleasant taste. It has much more going on. There's agriculture, there's cultural history, there's a really remarkable collection of crazy characters who are involved in the wine business. The fact that it changes every single year with the vintage. And it's also a way to travel the world in a glass, which is kind of remarkable. My role on this expedition up the Columbia and Snake River has essentially been to curate a fantastic selection of wines from the region, from the places that people will be visiting, to try and get across that notion that wine from a place is inextricable from the geology of the place, from the history of the place. I've tried to pick wines from both Washington and Oregon, particularly from along the route of the expedition, that exemplify why these wines are so great. The quality and characteristics of wines from the Northwest really depends on whether you're looking at Washington or you're looking at Oregon. Oregon is much more known for Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir kind of harkens back to an old world style. It's more elegant, more delicate, really beautiful spice notes, more red fruit character like red cherry. Washington is high desert, and it's ideal for wine. It's particularly ideal for pretty robust red grapes like Cabernet, Merlot, Syrah. You get a lot of dark fruit characteristics, a lot of cassis, a lot of blackberry. So I picked wines both from those places, from producers that I happen to love. So for instance, Leonetti Cellars, one of the great, fantastic Cabernet and Merlot producers in Washington State. Leonetti's wines are actually very hard to get, but we were able to snag some for the trip. And Sokol Blosser, a wonderful winery in Oregon that works organically and makes spectacular Pinot Noir. Their wines will be on the ship.
I'll be joining the inaugural voyage in March 2024. And what I'm most looking forward to is hanging out with a bunch of really cool people, drinking great wine and eating great food. The hallmarks of experiences that bear the Food and Wine name are really about gaining a deeper understanding of food and wine, going beyond the surface. But they're also about deliciousness, tasting and enjoying and sharing that with people. And one thing we do know is that Lindblad Expeditions National Geographic has an incredible culinary program. And so it made perfect sense to get the two together.
The food of the Pacific Northwest is obviously amazing. For instance, the best salmon in the world is Copper River salmon. You've got amazing produce. And one cool thing about the expedition is essentially all of the food, at least all the food that could possibly be sourced from within 250 miles, comes from within 250 miles. And at the same time, all of the wine is local too. So you're really tasting food and wine together the way they were meant to be enjoyed together, which is food of the place with the wine of the place while you're in the place.